Uncharted 4 is all about a global treasure hunt in search of Captain Avery's lost treasure. But Naughty Dog has buried more than just gold and rubies in the code of Nathan Drake's final adventure. Hi everyone, Spidey here once again to count down the top 10 Easter eggs and secrets tucked away in Uncharted 4. Note that this video will contain spoilers, especially numbers 1, 2, and 3, so be forewarned that you may want to finish your first playthrough of the game before checking this list out. Starting off with number 10, isn't it awesome how even some of the biggest AAA developers like Naughty Dog can still be influenced by indie games? Back in 2013, Papers, Please took players to the fictional nation of Arstotzka and placed them in the shoes of an immigration inspector tasked with checking the papers of those attempting to get in, letting in those who checked out, and turning back those who don't. At the start of Chapter 11, follow this path over to the Border Control office and spend a little time moving through the line of people trying to get in. You'll hear this little exchange between Sully and Drake.
We have that to look forward to when we get back to the States.
Could be worse. Could be Arstotzka.
Oh, don't even remind me.
Turns out, Papers, Please creator Lucas Pope actually worked at Naughty Dog for a time and is credited with work on both Uncharted 1 and 2. So this is a nice little nod to a former Naughty Dog. Moving on to number 9, this is actually the first of 3 Easter eggs that are all part of a series of strange treasures that are all references to prior Naughty Dog games. The first one, referencing The Last of Us, can be found in Chapter 9 shortly after solving this puzzle involving the crosses and opening the door. You're going to want to head down the path to the right and look over the ledge here to spot a swinging post. Swing on down to the platform and you'll find a pendant with the firefly symbol from The Last of Us, along with an etching on the back that says Druckley, a combination of the last names of Uncharted 4's 2 directors, Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley. In at number 8, in Chapter 12, while you're sailing around the seas with Nate's brother Sam, if you jump into the water, you'll trigger this fun little exchange of dialogue between Nate and Sam.
Marco! Marco what? Marco! Who's Marco? Forget it.
Sam, it's a game, Marco Polo. One person in the water closes their eyes and shouts, Marco! And then the others say, Polo! And then the person who said Marco has to... Anyway, it gets its name from the real-life explorer Marco Polo, which is why Drake always thinks it's funny, even when others do not. This is a throwback to a recurring Easter egg in the series that started way back in Uncharted 2, when Nate and Chloe reached the top of a hotel where there was a swimming pool. The Easter egg then returned in Uncharted 3 when Drake was exploring the cruise ship and was forced to play his favorite game all by himself, hence the trophy, Marco Solo. The Marco Polo bit from Uncharted 2 was always one of my favorite interactions between Nate and Chloe in the game, so I for one am glad that I got a slight little nod once again in Uncharted 4. Number 7, Chapter 11 in Uncharted 4 is chock full of cool little Easter eggs and references. But there's actually another neat Easter egg tied to a trophy just a little bit further on in the marketplace where you see a person selling an apple. Buy an apple from them and then walk up to this man with a lemur to play with it for a little bit. As you walk away, the lemur will run up Drake's shoulder and steal his apple. The little thief! To commemorate this occasion of getting your food stolen by a thieving lemur, you'll get the Don't Feed the Animals trophy. On to number 6, the second of 3 strange relics takes us back to the days of Jak and Daxter, and can be found in Chapter 12. You're going to have to play a fair bit into this chapter, but once you reach the mudslide, you'll know that you're close. Turn to the left and head down this path and climb up the wall on the left side. Keep working your way up until you can't get any higher, and then look off the edge, way off in the distance, to spot a grapple point. Take a leap of faith, grapple while in the air, and swing on over to this platform to find a precursor orb from the Jak and Daxter series. God, I miss Jak and Daxter. Number 5, remember back at E3 2015 when Naughty Dog got on stage at the Sony press conference to demo the marketplace level from Uncharted 4, and Drake kinda just stood there for like 30 seconds? Turns out there was some sort of controller malfunction, but it led to a memorable E3 moment that has now been forever immortalized in the form of a trophy in the actual game. Play through Chapter 11 all the way until you reach the part where you re-emerge from the building and trigger this cutscene where Nate and Sully look to find Sam's tower. When the cutscene ends, just leave the controller still for 30 seconds and... well, there you go, free trophy. The trophy's name is appropriately titled Stage Fright, and it's just a cool way for Naughty Dog to poke some fun at themselves after what was no doubt a very embarrassing moment. In at number 4, upon completion of the game, players will be able to unlock a variety of different render modes that completely change the look of the game. Seriously, look at some of these. There's an option to give the game a cel-shaded, almost Borderlands-esque vibe. You can turn on an ASCII mosaic that makes the game look like something out of the Matrix, change all the colors to their color negatives, make everything look and sound like an awful 8-bit indie game. There's just so many different filters that you can mess with. I mean, just look at this one. Rainbow Funland. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss of words for this one. Probably the most useful mode from a gameplay perspective is Thief Vision, which highlights all the enemies as red, making it super easy to spot them from a distance and mark them. And finally, there's a bunch of Instagrammy style filters such as Vibrant, Cool, Sepia, Black and White, etc. Some of these are better than others, but I'm personally looking forward to another playthrough of the game in the cell shaded mode, and then maybe another one in Rainbow Funland. Don't judge. Number 3, after you beat the final boss, you'll be treated to an epilogue where you get to play as Nate and Elena's daughter, Cassie. Before you progress through the story though, make sure to explore around because there's a ton of cool stuff to check out, including right here on the closet door. It's a poster revealing a little tease for something in the Last of Us universe called American Daughters. Now I've seen places say that this is a tease for The Last of Us 2, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. At the bottom of the poster there's a logo for Dark Horse Comics, which leads me to believe that this is a comic side story more than anything. Still, Naughty Dog does have a history of teasing future titles in their games. Remember back in Uncharted 3 when The Last of Us was subtly teased in a newspaper article for one of the early levels? And for number 2, let's finish off those 3 strange relics. The final one can be found in Chapter 21, and you'll know you're close to it when you're able to look down and spot Avery's ship. Instead of swinging to the left, take a look to the right and you should spot a carefully hidden edge that you can grab onto. Slide down as far as you can go on the rope and swing towards it, but don't jump until Nate outstretches his arm. Otherwise, this will happen. Once you get it, pull yourself up, feel around in the dark to follow the path, and eventually you'll find the strange fruit, which happens to be a Wumpa fruit from Crash Bandicoot. And finally, in at number 1, did you know that all the paintings of pirates in the puzzle in Chapter 11 are based off of real-life pirates? Anne Bonny, Edward England, obviously Henry Avery and Thomas Tew, all real pirates who made a name for themselves out on the 7 seas. That being said, there's one pirate in this puzzle that does not have a name listed. And even more so than that, neither Sam nor Nate recognize his sigil. While this is not a famous real-life pirate, he is in fact one of the most famous video game pirates. Yes, that is Guybrush Threepwood of the Monkey Island series. In addition to the visual similarities, including the young looks, the blonde hair, and the blue coat from Monkey Island 2, his sigil is even a monkey. Since Guybrush was one of the founders of Libertalia, he'll show up in multiple places as you explore the Lost Pirate City. And in addition to that, Nate will even make this comment.
That is the second biggest cistern I've ever seen.
That's actually a reference to a running gag in the Monkey Island series. It's easy to see that Naughty Dog are quite the fans of the adventures of the swashbuckling Guybrush Threepwood. And that's our list. But before we go, I know what you're thinking. In fact, I bet you're typing it as a comment right now. Where is that Crash Bandicoot Easter egg in Chapter 4? And as cool as that scene is, the honest truth is that it's a completely unavoidable cutscene, and we can't in good conscience consider that to truly be an Easter egg. An awesome reference and one of the best scenes in Uncharted 4, sure. But to make it on this list, we feel that it needs to be something that is potentially missable or contain a reference that may go over some people's heads. And there you have it, 10 awesome Easter eggs and secrets from Uncharted 4. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments, and if you found this video to be enjoyable, informative, or otherwise positively stimulating to your senses, do us a favor and click that like button, as it really does help us out. We do awesome videos like this every single day, 7 days a week, and the best way to be part of that is by clicking the subscribe button right there. I've been your friendly neighborhood Spidey, and I'll see you next time.